So, we are now 3 movies into the Descendants franchise, and this is the last film in the series, as well as the last movie for Cameron Boyce. Let's get into it. So, Descendants 3 stars Cameron, Sofia Carson, Cameron Boyce, Sarah Jeffrey, Brenda D'Amico, BooBoo Stewart, Anne McClain, Thomas Dorothy, Mr. Hope, and is directed by Kenny Ortega. And we pick up right where the second film left off. In this movie, Mal, Dove, Cameron, Evie, Carlos, and Jay return to the Isle of the Lost to recruit a new batch of villainous offspring to join them at Auradon Prep. When a barrier breach jeopardizes the safety of Auradon during the departure off the Isle, Mal resolves to permanently close the barrier forever, fearing that nemesis Uma and Hades, who is her father, will wreak vengeance on the kingdom. Despite her decision, an unfathomable dark force threatens the people of Auradon, and it's up to Mal and the VKs to save everyone in their most epic battle. Industry, I was actually pretty excited to see how this would turn out, because I am a fan of the first 2 films. The first one, I didn't expect much out of it when it first came out, but I ended up watching it and I ended up really enjoying it. And Descendants 2 I thought was a pretty successful predecessor. So going into this one, I was curious to see how it would turn out. I liked all the trailers and all the marketing. I liked what they were trying to do, but the best thing about the marketing is that they didn't give away too much of what was going to happen. They basically played with what you think would happen in this movie. And also, before this movie came out, a few weeks ago, before this movie came out, back in July, Cameron Boyce, he unfortunately passed away at the age of 20, and due to epileptic seizure. And I was a little worried they were going to push the movie back, and I was also a little worried about how the story of this movie will turn out. Needless to say, after seeing Descendants 3 early Monday, I gotta say I love this one. I think it is a great end to the VK story arc. It's a great end to this franchise. It doesn't match the greatness of Avengers Endgame, but I'll say it right now, this felt more like a closeout movie to a series a lot better than Dark Phoenix. Because Dark Phoenix, that was supposed to be the end of 20 years of X-Men movies, and it just felt, it didn't feel like the end of an era there. Where this movie, it felt like the end of an era, because you've been with the VKs over the course of 2 movies in 5 years, 2015 all the way till now. So let's get into Descendants 3. Descendants 3, be sure to tell me what do you think of Descendants 3 in the comment section down below. Which was your favorite part? What is your least favorite part? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in between? Or you just don't care about this franchise? And with all that said, let's get into it. The biggest praise that I have to give to this movie is the acting. The acting in this movie is really strong. Everyone does a great job once again in their parts. I think everyone really got a chance to shine out in this film. Even some of the ones who didn't get that much to do. And I'm going to start off with our main characters first. Dove Cameron is Mal. This is an actress I've been a fan of ever since Liv and Maddie in 2013, and I've been liking everything Dove Cameron does ever since. She was very entertaining to watch in Monsterville, Cabin of the Souls. I thought she was really great in Barely Lethal, which had her in it and Haley Steinfeld in it, but Haley Steinfeld is the main character. She's one of the main characters. And I have to say, she was really great on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I do wish she had a little bit more to do on that season 5, before they killed her off. but she was great in that season. And as the voice of Spider-Gwen, the Ultimate Spider-Man, with the episode where you have Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and you have the idea of the Spider-Verse, I thought that was actually pretty cool. And it would only be a matter of time before we got a movie with focus on the Spider-Verse. And I gotta say, for the first two movies, Mal, she has really knocked it out of the park as Mal. And she's great, and I think she's very pretty, and she's a great singer. And I have to say, she really brought her A game here. And I gotta say, she was very impressive to see. And I thought she was great. I thought she really brought it home. And she did a phenomenal job here once again. I thought she had a lot of great moments. There's a lot of things that they do with her character here, which I won't spoil. And she goes through a very different character arc. Almost every single character goes through some kind of arc in this movie. And before I move on, I'm gonna just say it. Dove Cameron once again brought it again, especially in her solo song that she has in this movie, and the emotion and the vulnerability that she shows as Mal, I thought was really great. Also, we have to talk about Sofia Carson as Evie, because Sofia Carson, this is basically Mr. Michael's biggest crush besides Sabrina Carpenter. And I gotta say, Sofia Carson, she was great as Evie again. She has progressed a lot more from those first two films, and she really brought it home once again. Even in a lot of sequences that she has, even in the film's funny moments and darker moments. One scene in particular where you do find out what Mal has did in the third act of the movie, where she literally breaks down and cries because she cares for the kids on the aisle. I thought that was very touching. And Sofia Carson is a great actress and singer in general. She was great in A Cinderella Story and If the Shoe Fits. That's not a great film, but she was one of the best parts in it. I have to say, she was great in the first two Descendants movies. She had an episode of Austin Alley, which she was really great in. And I thought she was amazing in Pretty Little Liars: The Perfectionist. She was one of my favorite. She was my favorite character in the entire series, right next to Allison DeLaurentis. And I gotta say, Sofia Carson, she once again does a great job here. And yeah, both Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson, they are the heart and soul of these three films, right next to the two main boy leads. They really do a great job once again as the characters. Then you have BooBoo Stewart as Jay, and he's really great. I gotta say, he was very funny. He had his moments where he really stood out too, and I can't really praise his character anymore that I have. But the elephant in the room is Cameron Boyce as Carlos. Now, like I said at the beginning, this is his final appearance because he unfortunately passed away before this movie came out. And I gotta say, Cameron Boyce, you can't watch Descendants 3 and not get emotional watching his performance. He's having a good time, he's into it. You could tell he was having a lot of fun, a lot of energy into his performance, and he really did a good job for his final appearance. And it is a shame that this is his last movie, because he could have went on to do a lot of other film projects, hey, even TV projects. But in a ways, it sucks, but at least he came back and did the movie 100%. It's not like Fast and Furious 7 where they would have to use a stand-in for his scenes. Is all 100% Cameron Boyce, and he will be missed dearly, but he will not be forgotten. So you have your four main actors doing a great job once again, and they all give fantastic performances, even in their singing. Cheyenne McClain is Uma. This was something I was a little concerned about going in because I was like, great, Uma is back. She's just gonna start some crap with Mal again. But no, I actually like the decisions that they took her. I like the direction that they took her here. She's still upset over what happened, but over the course of the movie, she goes through an arc and she starts to see that there is good, and there are more important things than just the rivalry between her and Mal, because of the situation that they're in this film. And Cheyenne McClain, she did a great job once again. Brenna D'Amico is Jane. She was even great. I loved her performance. Again, it's great to see Brenna D'Amico back as this character one last time, and I gotta say she was absolutely phenomenal in this movie. Absolutely phenomenal. Melanie Paxton is Fairy Godmother. She was great, but I felt like she didn't get that much to do. And also Chad Charming, he was good. Jediah Goodker. Zachary Gibson is Doug. I thought he was pretty good. Thomas Dorothy is Harry Hook. It was such joy seeing him back. Such fun seeing him back, because he was really funny in the second one. Even though I found him a little, just a tiny bit annoying, but he was still pretty fun to see. And he had me cracking up through the entire movie. So did Dylan Playfair. I thought they were really great as well. And the Cathcart is Dizzy Tremaine. I thought she was amazing. Dan Payne and Keegan Connor Tracy, I thought they were really great as Belle and the Beast. Jada Marie as Celia and Jamal Sims as Dr. Facilier. I thought they, from Princess and the Fog, I thought they were really great in the scenes, especially Jada Marie. But Jamal Sims, I do admit he was underused in this movie. And also Sarah Jeffrey as Audrey. Woo. She brought it. She just brought it. This movie, Audrey is not playing around. I will get back to her in a minute in my negatives, but for now I will say Sarah Jeffrey, she's a great actress. I think she's very beautiful. She really comes into her own as the evil version of Audrey, and I did not expect them to go that route, but the way they did it, I was surprised. And you see what she's having to deal with, because she's still upset that she didn't get to become. She thinks Mal has taken everything from her, but over the course of the movie, as she's being evil, she just wants to make everyone's life on Auradon a living hell, pretty much. And Sarah Jeffrey, I thought she was great. Her solo song was completely off the chain, I gotta say. But we have to talk about the biggest surprise in this movie, and that is Cheyenne Jackson is Hades. Now, this was a casting choice, and this was something I was very excited to see, but at the same time I was really worried, because I love Hades from the Hercules movie, and seeing him in this movie, I said, wow, this is going to be fun, this is going to be awesome, we got Hades in here. And I was a little worried when I first saw the picture of him. I said, okay, you got the guy from American Horror Story. I'm gonna give him a chance, cause I want to be open-minded. And I gotta say, Cheyenne Jackson as Hades, he was really good to watch. He was a ton of fun to watch. However, I do admit that Cheyenne Jackson, he was wasted a little bit, and I felt like he could have had a lot more to do. I felt like he could have gave him a lot more screen time. Is the direction. Kenny Ortega, I really like his direction once again. Kenny Ortega, he has been knocking it out of the park with these Descendants movies, and he did a great job with the High School Musical trilogy. I love the High School Musical trilogy. And this is another case just like the High School Musical films, where you either love it or you hate it. In my case, I love the High School Musical movies, and I like this film. So it's obvious that he was really great as well. And I thought he had a lot of great moments in the film. I thought he was fantastic. He really did great in his direction and the dance choreography. You could tell when he directs the humor very well, the comedy very well, and most of the emotion very well. Even the dance numbers are very well choreographed. Now I gotta say, this movie is really gorgeously shot. Very beautiful cinematography, very bright, colorful production design, costumes, which is what I like about these Descendants movies. They're colorful, they're a lot of fun to watch as far as the colors, and it's just really fun to see that aspect. And I think they really did a good job there on the production design part. So I gotta say, they did that very well. Also, the dance choreography is really good as well. So, not much more with the direction, the dance choreography. The musical numbers are really great. When you watch a Descendants movie, whether you like them or hate them, at least appreciate the musical numbers. Because I gotta say, the musical numbers in here, this may have the best soundtrack of the Descendants franchise. This may have the best soundtrack. And I gotta say, the soundtrack is absolutely great here. And I gotta say, the first two have really great soundtracks, but this I thought was really entertaining to watch there. And I gotta say, you really did a hell of a job there. You did a hell of a job there in the case of the song numbers and the musical numbers. I thought that was very well done on that part. And this has some of the best musical numbers. Audrey's solo song, the solo song they gave for Mal, but my three favorite songs are Night Falls, One Kiss, and this final song in the film, Break This Down. The soundtrack is really great. I really enjoy the soundtrack. I think there's a lot of amazing, great soundtrack here. And I have to say that you do have a good message here. I love the message that they're trying to send here. The message really is incredible. I think they really did a phenomenal job doing that soundtrack, and it is just a very strong soundtrack overall. So I gotta say, they did that pretty darn well. And for the little action sequences that there are, the action is really fun. The action sequences are really enjoyable and fun to watch. I love the action scenes here. And there's a lot of tension going on here. I love the tension that they decide to pull here. I think they really knew what they were doing, and they embraced what they were doing. So I gotta say, that was a heck of a good thing for them to do. So I really like that. And like I said at the beginning, each of these characters go through some type of character arc, and I really enjoy that aspect. And yes, I do. You have some good moments of humor that works very well. I do like the moments of humor that they put into this film. I think the humor worked for the most part. Most of the humor I'll get to in my negatives, but for the most part, I thought some of the comedy that they went with was actually not that bad. And the last positive I do have to give is that there is no setup for a fourth film. It seems very clear that this is the last movie, so I do have to give kudos to credit is due. Kudos to the cast and crew, because you can tell they're having fun here. They're not going to do any more. This is it for them. And while it was bittersweet at best to see the VK's last adventure, I gotta say, you couldn't have ended this any other way. And there's a lot of surprise in here. And the messages are really nicely told, and the story was very interesting for the most part. Now, I do like Descendants 3, but if I had any issues with Descendants 3, I'll explain right off the bat. Let's get it out of the way right now. I like Sarah Jeffrey as Audrey. I think she's great in the movie. I think she's a talented actress and talented singer, and she's pretty. But ever since the first Descendants movie, when it comes to the character of Audrey, I cannot stand this character. This is literally my least favorite character in the entire series. I didn't like her then. I don't like her now. And the fact that you made her into the villain, that's kind of insulting, because I was expecting Hades to be our main villain, which is what should have happened. But no, instead we get Audrey as the main villain. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad choice, because on one hand, I can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to make an Auradon kid a baddie, but I just feel like Hades should have been the main villain, because of all the promotional advertisements and all the marketing that I've seen from this movie, you expect Hades to be the main villain. When you watch the movie, that is completely not the case. And she does have a cool musical number, The Queen of Mean. It's kind of hip-hop like inspired. I like the song. I really do. But at the same time, I felt like you should have just made her the main villain instead. I'm not saying she's terrible. I'm not saying Sarah Jeffrey is bad, because she's not. She's just pretty good. She's just really good. But honestly, you should just stick to Hades. Also, there are moments in this movie where she goes into 2019 Jafar mode. What am I talking about? Aladdin, the new Aladdin, Jafar is like screaming and being over the top. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Also, there are some moments in this movie where the humor doesn't really quite work, and I feel like some of those moments of humor could have been really avoided. And there are some characters who do get underutilized, especially Fairy Godmother, and some characters from the second film, even the first film. And that's kind of sad, because you expect them to do a lot more here in this one, since this is the end of the franchise. But sadly, that wasn't the case either. And another issue I do have is that the story at times becomes fairly predictable at times. But due to the message that it was trying to send, that didn't really bother me. And I do wish there was a little more surprise factor here. Which, there are some good surprises here, but I feel like there could have been a little bit more. However, on a side note, I will say another negative I have. This has nothing to do with the movie. Well, actually it does. Hades should have been in this movie a lot more than he was, because I wanted to see more Hades in the movie, and unfortunately, I didn't get that. And that was kind of a missed opportunity there, because you have a villain like Hades inside this movie, and you barely do anything with him. So that was a little bit of a downside. But all in all, I pretty much just stated all the issues that I have with Descendants 3. Really quickly, before I give my final verdict, be sure to comment down below, what did you think of Descendants 3? Did you like it? Did you hate it? We're not going to agree on this movie. There are going to be some people who hate the movie. There are going to be some people who like the movie. And there's going to be some people who are in between. But let's have a friendly, debatable, positive conversation in the comments down below, because I do not want to have to block anybody. And also, if you are not subscribed already, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more epitassiness. And if you like what you see, come join the epitassiness of future filmmaker 3940 reviews, where I talk movies, TV shows, and music. At the end of the day, Descendants 3 is definitely one of the better franchise-ending movies to come out this year, and out of 2019 so far. And while it is nowhere near as a masterpiece of Avengers Endgame or anything like that, I find this to be a better franchise-ending movie than X-Men Dark Phoenix ever was. And this is my second favorite in the franchise, and this will be ranked. This is one of my favorite films of the year. I love the character arcs, I love the story, I like the acting, I love the musical numbers, the cinematography, and the direction. And I like Hades, Cheyenne Jackson. But the problems, I feel like the villain could have been better. There is predictable stuff, and all the negatives I just mentioned, they do kind of hurt the movie's grade a little bit. So at the end of the day, Descendants 3 is still a pretty great end to the series, and it is a sad and emotional send-off to the Descendants franchise. It is emotional, and it is a satisfying into a big franchise that I've enjoyed. And this is a good enough send-off for Cameron Boyce. So overall, Descendants 3, I'm going to go ahead and give it an epitastic of an A. So that was my thoughts on Descendants 3. Be sure to tell me what you think of Descendants 3 in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Be sure to follow my social media links in the description box down below. Be sure to share this video, like the video, comment, retweet, whatever you want to do. And also, be sure to come subscribe for the channel for more epitassiness on future filmmaker 3940 AU reviews, where we talk movies, TV shows, and music, and do all type of videos such as reviews, top 10s, reactions, rankings, vlogs, etc. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys keep it cool and join the epitassiness. Rest in peace, Cameron Boyce.